Well, today I've been working on a project and it's for a 132 Carrera COT NASCAR body. I took one of these. You can still find these sometimes on eBay unpainted. Now the regular ones are getting harder to find. They're usually pretty expensive when you do find them. I got a few, but I wanted to get one of these blanks and make one up myself, one they never did, and see how that would turn out. And so far it's coming out pretty good. What I had to do though was, of course, cut the cockpit out and take all the glass out, which I'm not going to try to detail the glass like they do on, they got a lot of good detail on the glass on the ones they made factory, right? But I'm not going to bother with that. If I had another body that had the detailed, I'd probably swap the glass out, but I'm just going to see what it looks like with me just painting it up. So I got a cut, like I said, I got a couple used ones off of eBay to work with. This body was in perfect shape. The other one was missing that little dome, but I didn't care. Of course, still got the unpainted wing. And this is the project so far. I spray painted it with this Tamiya TS76 is the number, MCA silver they call it. And it looks pretty good, almost looks aluminum. And since it's a Coors Light, it needs to be like an aluminum looking body. Now these decals I got off of eBay, I'll see if I can still find the link. I'll post a link to it. But they come out pretty good. The numbers seem slightly underscale, but the rest, the little side stuff came out really good. It was a hair long, I had to trim it. Same on the back part, but it looks really good. I'm quite pleased with the results so far. The only thing I would advise if you're going to do something similar, those decals ain't got a whole lot of stickum to them when you put them on there. And if you get it wet while you're doing another one, they can shift around. So what I should have did, I applied all the decals, and then I sprayed, I'm on about the 4th or 5th coat right now, clear on top to lock them in. But it would have been probably better if I just did like one side and then sprayed some clear on to lock those in. And the overspray wouldn't be a problem since it's clear. May even make them stick better, I don't know. I probably could have sprayed the decal sheet. They seem to have lightened up once I transferred them, did the water. They were water slides, but it just might have been, they appeared darker because the paper that they were on like a light blue or whitish, kind of bluish tint white paper. And but the fellow that made them, if he made them, the guy that sold them to me, he did an outstanding job on that. Now, the decal pattern's based on a 2001 or 2002 Dodge. This one is 2007 or 2008. It was probably released in about 2009 by Carrera. Dodge pattern. Now the Dodges, these COTs, even though they're different brands, they almost look identical, but there are some minor differences like the back window areas and stuff, so they're not entire. They do swap chassis fairly well, so that's not a problem. But the chassis is the hard part to find. There are bodies still out there new that you pick up from hobby stores or on eBay, but like I said, I want to do something a little unique, and I'm quite pleased with the way it came out, even though it wasn't exactly designed for this body, but it's close enough that I could fake it out. And like I said, I'm quite pleased with that. But so that's come out really good. I got to put the plastics back in, and I'm going to use some of that E6000 or E3, whatever it is, kind of a semi-flexible glue that you could push it out if you had to. Again, don't like to use CA or super glue on clear plastic, because the fumes from it will fog it out if you're not careful. So like I said, I gotta just finish out the cockpit. Started painting it up, but got a few details left before I put it back in. So the glass got to go back in next, and I just went with flat black on most of the details of the dash, the actual interior, the back shell of that seat, doing red to kind of go with the silver and red pattern on the roll bar. I'm gonna paint the steering wheel black, but I wanted the column and the center pieces to be red. Gear shifter boots red. Gonna paint the knob on it silver. Painted the driver all silver, but I'm gonna give them black gloves and a red helmet. So that ought to look pretty, I think it'll come out pretty good once it's all put back together. But like I was saying, these things are getting harder to find. Hopefully I can put enough clear on there to protect them decals. I don't know how they'll hold up to being bumped and run around the track, but they might be all right. I mean, the factory ones get scraped sometimes too. I haven't studied real well. I've never stripped one of these bodies before. I have on Tyco and AFX ones, but these seem to be a better quality decal. They're probably very sticky when they first put them on, and they must use machines to do that. I don't really know. I'd be interested in the process if anybody knows. But like I said, I think that's going to come out really good. I'm quite pleased with that. It's definitely not a cheap route to go, because you got to find the blank to work with. Then you got to get the decals, which was probably $10 shipped total. But that paint stuff's about $8 a tiny can. So unless you just want to do something unique and you got time and you enjoy doing stuff like this, it's not a cheap alternative, but you do come up with a unique NASCAR that nobody else has one unless you mimic it. But there are a couple more decal patterns I saw out there that are based off of white bodies. That might be really successful, but I'd probably have to spray it first, because this plastic is really, really slick. So I probably have to spray it with that clear at least a couple coats, or I'd hate to primer it and paint it. Then you start getting too thick and you lose body lines. So I'll see how that goes. But this one is one where I had bought I had a used set that I bought that had 4 cars in it, and they were all pretty much junk. The tires were all melted, and which was not mentioned by the seller, but it was complete. Had 4 cars. The digital chips are still fine. And so I took one of these bodies and I moved the posts. It originally had posts here and somewhere back in here, or further back maybe. But what I did, I took the chassis of I think it's a BMW M3 GT2. That was the nearest to the spare chassis I had close to the right wheelbase. And it is pretty close. So I just had to I just cut those pieces off the body, had them screwed on, and then glued them in with some super glue, and then went around it with a little bit of hot glue around the cockpit. But it's made it quite a bit heavier, and I added some weight down on the bottom of the chassis because the top seemed to get quite a bit heavier. But I'm just a hair off on my wheel spacing. So I may have to take off the edge of one of the openings for the wheels. I still need to find a good set of front wheels. This is off the BMW, but I think I can pop that out and make it look more like NASCAR center hub. But I'll be able to run it once it's done. It's going to be probably, I don't know, about twice the weight, but considerably heavier than the other ones. But we'll see how that works. With it screwed on, the wheels will spin, but they are close to rubbing. So I do still have to do a little bit of work. And on the Coors Light one, I still need to, I'm going to paint the rim. I think I'll paint the rims red. And not sure about that rear spoiler. Might do a red one. Think that might look good. Or it's going to be red or silver. I mean, most of them are black, but I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with red on that. Make it pop. And on the decal set, I used every decal in that set. I didn't think they would all fit, but they all came, it came out, even the front end, which is slightly different. It matches up pretty good. But then I got like a row of 3 minor sponsors here that I'm not sure where they went. I was using some pictures off the internet, but I think I'm gonna go on and put them right above that target on there, because it's kind of a little bit more bare over in that area. So, and they are super tiny, y'all. Look, that's them right there. That's the, I don't know, I probably can't get it to focus. But, so that's my Carrera NASCAR project going on right now. And then I'm gonna do another video here in a little bit about some ideal cars. I got a bunch of those I'm working on. So take care, y'all.